My next guest is the 2022 PFL Welterweight Champion. He is the Swedish Denzel Washington, and he joins me right now, Mr. Sadibou Sy. Mr. C, thank you for being here, champ. I appreciate your time. A few months have gone by since you last fought in the championship fight. I'd love to
Yeah.
just start there. What have you been up to? Did you go back to Sweden and hang out for a while? What did you do with your time with your $1 million check? I hope you did something cool.
So the fight was November 25th, right? So I went back to Sweden on the 27th or 28th, something like that. I was in Sweden for a couple of days. I was doing a little bit of media and enjoying myself, meeting up with friends and family. After that, I went to Senegal. My family is from there. I'm born and raised in Sweden, but I have family and friends over in Senegal as well. I had a little bit of like homecoming and reception over there. It was an amazing, amazing time. Um, and then after that, I actually went to Vietnam and Bali for 2 weeks, just enjoying myself. And after that, back to Vegas, preparing for this season and this upcoming week.
Is it surreal to think that what this championship title meant, not just to you, but for the people of Sweden, for people back in Africa? Like, I'm sure there are a lot of people that came up to you and talked to you and told you what you winning that title meant for them. And was there like a story or two that like stands out in your mind about what somebody told you about how much it meant to them?
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Like I was actually moved and touched by how much people resonated with it and how much people like how happy people were for me, right? And they felt like I gave them hope, I gave them a purpose. Okay, like it was amazing. And actually, when I was sitting in Senegal, I was sitting with the Minister of Sports, and he told me this was maybe 2.5 weeks after the fight, so everything hasn't really like set yet, right? And he was like, from the president to the minister of sport to the prime minister, we all it was speaking to me in those terms, and at that point it all started to come together, and I was like, wow. So that was a surreal moment. And my wife actually looked at me. She's like, "Yeah, you looked like you were about to cry over
Well, yeah, you know, it's just a moment that when you're long done with MMA, that's something that nobody can ever take away from you. But you made a
there." Yeah,
huge impact in the lives of so many others, and that's got to be cool, but also very humbling at the same time. This part of the podcast is brought to you by my friends at Uriah Faber's A1 Combat. Later on this month, on April 28th, there's going to be an amazing title fight that's going to be taking place between two really high level guys. This is a card that I'm really excited about. A lot of really interesting fights between some of the top up and coming prospects on the West Coast. I highly recommend you guys check this out. It is going to be streaming on UFC Fight Pass, so make sure you check that out. And if you're in the Southern California area, why not just go to the fight? I am going to go ahead and in the description for this video include all of the information on how to attend or watch this event. Make sure you guys check it out.
for sure, for sure. And for me, I take it as motivation. I find motivation in everything in life, right? And for me, to be able to inspire someone, that motivates me, and I don't take that lightly. I'm fighting for myself, and I'm fight like, don't get me wrong, like I have amazing fans, friends, family, the support system, but I have to fight for myself, I believe, to be able to go through what I go through. So I'm doing what I'm doing, and that inspires people. And for me, that's really still hard for me to understand. Like, the people come up to me and tell their stories about how something I did or said inspired. So it's amazing.
I wanted to ask you, sir. You fought Delano Taylor, who's a very tough, promising, up and coming guy. He had an
Yeah,
incredible run. He
yeah,
starts off as an alternate, and then he
yeah,
makes it all the way to the championship fight. He's a guy a lot of people are excited about, and that was a tough matchup. I know that looking at it on paper, people are like, "Oh man, C should be able to just kind of like dominate this fight." And I'm like, I think this fight's going to be pretty close. Now, fair and square, you ended up winning the fight. It wasn't close at all,
yeah.
but he's a tough guy, and I'd love to get your opinion. Like, when you look back at that fight, what are some of the things that you saw?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. People don't understand how he's a very crafty guy, up and comer, hungry, and I know because I've been fighting for PFL since 2018. I know how hard the format is for him to be able to come in as an alternate each time, stay ready, make weight, and still perform and make it to the finals. Like it's so impressive. And I told him that I was like, I'm proud of you because you did amazing. Unfortunately, you're not gonna win the finals, but like my hat has to go off to you, you know?
How happy were you with your performance? Like you specifically, you were very rangy, very hard to hit. I think, in my opinion, it looked like you kind of frustrated him as the fight unfolded.
Yeah, yeah. So I was one part of me was very happy because like during the beginning, the early rounds in the fight, one of my contacts broke, so I had some things that I needed to deal with, which made it hard. So for me to just, yeah, like when that happened, I believe I had like a moment where I wanted, like where I had to tell myself, all right, this is it. Either you want it or you don't, because here's a way out, right? And I really wanted it. So I'm very happy with that. And but other than that, of course, like I always want to have a explosive fight. I always looking for like a explosive finish, but to be able to become the champion after all these years fighting tough guy after tough guy after tough guy, 4 fights, making weight 4 times in 7 months. Like I'm very satisfied with myself.
Your 2022 season was absolutely incredible. And I have to tell you, like when you beat Rory, like it just seemed like you were on the cusp of achieving something very, very special. And to your point, you've been in this promotion for several years.
Yeah,
As you were preparing your mind and your body for the 2022 season,
yeah.
with all these new guys coming in, did you kind of think to yourself, like, I think I have an advantage because I've been competing in this format for such a long time now?
So like knowing what to expect out of the season, I believe is good. But for me, to be honest, like one of the reasons why I believe that it is an advantage to say having been in the promotion since 2018 is I go fight by fight. I don't have 4 fights. I have one fight in front of me. That's next
Mm.
week. That's all I have to think about. I'm thinking about my opponent next week, and everything else is gonna sort itself out.
Absolutely. Well, I briefly want to talk about your opponent next week. It's the co-main event. You're going up
Yeah,
against Al-Silawi. He's an
yeah,
exciting fighter. I can see why a lot of people like this guy. I'd love to
yeah.
get your opinion on your opponent and what you think you need to do in order to beat him.
So you're right. He's a very nice, a very he's a very good fighter. He's technically sound. He's schooled, well schooled. He doesn't do a lot of mistakes. I believe stylistically and the way he likes to fight and the way his way to the fight is quite similar to my way, which is bad for him because I believe that I can do things that he cannot do because of my size, my length, and my speed. So I believe it's gonna be a stand-up fight mostly. Yeah, I believe you're gonna see a little bit of like wrestling in parts, but I believe the distance is gonna be the biggest key in this fight, and that's also why I'm gonna be victorious in this fight. I believe, to be honest, like even though he's an amazing fighter, because styles makes fights, and on paper, I believe that um, he doesn't match up well with against me, and this is an opportunity for me to put on a show.
Absolutely, sir. I cannot wait. I'm looking forward to it. I have one final question for you, and
Right.
it's a curveball. It's a curveball. You
Go
have
ahead.
not been asked this before. Francis Ngannou, he should
Yeah.
go to the PFL, in my opinion. And I want you, I'm going to tag him in this video. I want you to tell me and Francis Ngannou, like why he should sign for the PFL. I'd love to see it, but I'd like for him to hear it from a champion like you.
Francis, my friend, it's time for you to come over to PFL. PFL is a fighter-friendly organization. We are very well sought after here, and if you come over, when you come over, you're not gonna regret it. Let's put on some great shows together, brother.
Absolutely. So there you go. One champion, one African champion to another African champion right
Yes,
there. That's what I do,
yes.
sir.
Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Good take.
Sadibou, thank you so much. I appreciate your time. And if there's anyone that you would like to thank, like your friends, your family, or your teammates, I'd like to give you the opportunity to do that before I let you go today.
Appreciate you. Yeah, like to be able to, like, the people that are around me, they already know the love that I have for them, how thankful I am, and for all the fans out there, I hear you, I see you, I feel you, and you motivate me. So please continue to give me your love, and I will continue to win and grow in this sport.
Champ, I wish you the best luck in the upcoming season. You have a great rest of your day, and I'll be watching your
You
fight on
too.
the 14th.
All right, my man. To take care.